Hello guys, I'm Kriti Parekh. Before we start this presentation, let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm a chartered accountant and I have an experience of almost 10 years in the area of financial reporting and accounting standards and auditing. I have worked in one of the big four in my past and currently working in an investment company. My plan going forward is to put videos on various financial reporting and accounting standard topics. Today, I start with the Corporation Act, and this particular presentation relates to Chapter 2M, Financial Reporting and Auditing, and this is just an overview of this chapter. Per this chapter, all companies, registered schemes, and disclosing entities are required to prepare financial reports annually. Also, the disclosing entities are required to prepare half-yearly reports as well. Per this chapter, all the notified foreign passport funds are required to provide reports on financial matters to Australian members of the fund and to ASIC. So what is now a foreign passport fund? A foreign passport fund is a registered passport fund with home economy is being in Japan, New Zealand, the Republic of Korea, and Thailand. If the operator of a foreign passport fund seeks to offer interest in the fund to investors in Australia under the Asia Region Fund's passport, the fund is called or becomes a notified foreign passport fund. Now, as we spoke above, that all the companies, registered schemes, and disclosing entities are required to prepare financials. The question is, what are those companies, registered schemes, and disclosing entities? So here, the companies will include proprietary companies, public companies, and corporate collective investment vehicles. But there are few exceptions to these companies, which we will talk in the later section. Now, what are registered scheme? Registered scheme means a managed investment scheme that is required under that is registered under the Section 601 EB of the Corporation Act, which is basically the registration of the managed schemes. Now, what is disclosing entities? If any securities of a body are enhanced disclosure securities, the body is a disclosing entity for the purpose of this Act. Now, what are enhanced disclosure securities? There are few securities which are issued by body, corporate, or managed schemes, but there are few conditions to it, like they need to have a disclosure statement and there must be at least 100 people investing in those securities, and there are many other conditions for that. So those are enhanced securities. So if any interest in and managed investment schemes are enhanced securities, the undertaking to which the interest relates is a disclosing entity for the purpose of this Act. This chapter covers all disclosing entities incorporated or formed in Australia, whether or not they are the companies or registered schemes. Now, for the purpose of this chapter, for the registered schemes, the responsible entity is responsible for the performance of the obligations in respect of that scheme. Similar to that, the directors and the officers of the responsible entity are taken to be the directors and the officers of the scheme, and the debt incurred in operating the scheme are taken to be the debts of the scheme. Similar to the registered scheme for foreign passport fund, the operator of the fund is responsible for the performance of the obligations in respect of the fund, and the debts incurred in operating the fund are taken to be the debts of the fund. Now, the next thing is, what consists of annual financial reporting for these companies, registered schemes, and disclosing entities? So your annual financial reporting includes financial report, which is inclusive of financial statement, disclosure and notes, and director's declaration. It also includes your director's report and also requires that the financial report are audited and the audit report is obtained. And once these all are ready, your financial report, director's report, and auditor's report, these are provided to members and also lodged with ASIC. And also these reports are late before AGM, and this is the only requirement for a public company. As I mentioned before that there are few exceptions for companies. So this section particularly talks about companies limited by guarantee. As you know, companies limited by guarantee are a special form of companies designed specially for non-profit organizations, and the members' liability is kind of fixed to a fixed amount. Now, for small company limited by guarantee, there is no obligation to prepare the financial reports, but they will have to prepare the financial report, director's report, or get them audited based on members or ASIC direction. When can a member direct the company to prepare the financial report? Members with at least 5% of voting rights can direct the company to prepare the reports and send it to the members elected to receive it. The direction must be signed by the members giving the direction and should not be later than 12 months from the end of the financial year. The direction can also specify if the financial report needs to comply with some or all of the accounting standards, or director reports or part of the report need not to be prepared, or the financial report needs to be audited. The second one on ASIC direction. ASIC may direct to prepare these reports under this section, and there are various other divisions in the Corporation Act under which the ASIC can direct the company to prepare the financial report. The direction given by ASIC may be general or may specify the particular requirements to comply with. The direction would specify the date by when the document needs to be prepared, signed, and lodged. The direction must be in writing and should not be later than 6 months from the end of the financial year concerned. Companies limited by guarantee with annual revenue or if it is a part of the consolidated entity, its annual consolidated revenue is less than 1 million. Then companies need to prepare the financial report and director's report. However, they need not to get the financial report audited unless it is a Commonwealth company or a subsidiary of Commonwealth company or as a Commonwealth authority. But still the company needs to have those financial report reviewed instead of audited, and provide these reports to members who elects to receive it. Now, company limited by guarantee with annual revenue, or if it is a part of the consolidated entity, the annual consolidated revenue is of 1 million or more. Then the company needs to prepare the financial report and director's report, have them audited, basically the financial report. Please note director's report need not to be audited, and provide those reports to members who elects to receive it. Now, we spoke before about the companies limited by guarantee. Now we will speak about the proprietary companies, and here we are specifically talking about small proprietary companies. For large proprietary companies, there are no specific conditions. They will have to prepare the financial report, director's report, and get them audited. But for small proprietary companies, they will prepare the financial report and director's report only if it is under the direction of shareholder or ASIC. Now the question is, when can the shareholder direct to prepare those reports? So shareholders with at least 5% voting right can direct the company to prepare the financial report and director report and send it all to shareholders. The directions must be signed by the shareholders giving direction, and that shall not be later than 12 months from the end of the financial year. Similar to above, the direction can specify if the financial report have not to comply with some or all of the accounting standard, or director report or part of it need not to be prepared, or the financial report needs to be audited. On ASIC directions, the ASIC may direct the company to prepare these reports under this section or any other section of the Corporation Act. The direction may be general or may specify the particular requirements to comply with, along with specifying the date by when the document needs to be prepared, sent, and lodged. The direction must be in writing and shall not be later than 6 months from the end of the financial year concerned. Apart from the direction from shareholder and ASIC, the small proprietary company need to prepare the financial report if it was controlled by a foreign company and is not consolidated for that period in the financial lodged with ASIC. It has to prepare the financial report and director's report if it has one or more of crowdsourced funding shareholders at any time during the year. That's all as an introduction for the Corporation Act. Just a small disclaimer. The information contained in this document is not intended to address the circumstances of any individual or entity. This is just the interpretation by the writer of the Corporation Act 2001. The writer does not guarantee and accept no legal liability whatsoever arising from or connected to the accuracy, reliability, currency, or completeness of any material contained on this document. The information in this document is not intended to serve as legal, accounting, financial, or tax advice. Users are encouraged to consult with professional advisors before making any decision. The writer recommends that users exercise their own skill and judgment with respect to the use of the information contained in this document. No one is entitled to rely on this information, and no one should act on such information without appropriate advice.